Here to discuss their commitment to exceptional care, navigating insurance with ease, and the latest advancements in hearing technology, we welcome Advanced Ear Care and Stuart Spencer to the show.
Thank you. Nice to be here today, Bree. Thank you.
Nice to have you back.
Oh, I appreciate it. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Here we go, right?
We are launching. We are launching. So last year we ended 2024 talking about insurance and how important it is. So let's launch this year talking about the same.
Yeah, that's right. You know, it's so critical. You know, today there's so many different third parties involved in care for hearing. You know, and so people are a little confused about what their benefits are. You know, everybody has Medicare. You know, they know what their Plan A is.
I tell you what,
their
that
Plan
whole
B supplement.
Everything about insurance is confusing.
It is. And so people think, oh, you know, gosh, I signed up for a program, you know, where it covers hearing aids, you know, so I get a free hearing aid. Well, they don't. You know, they get like $500 off, or they have to buy one that they mail them, or they have to buy a certain one, or they have to buy a certain one from the insurance company. Then we fit it. So it's just kind of confusing, you know. So we navigate all that. But here's the really cool thing is, you know, when the year turns over, now many of those people, even if they purchased new hearing aids last year through their insurance, can get another new hearing aid this year.
Is that right?
With newer technology, better benefits. And so, you know, just because the calendar turned, then they're eligible again. And they think, oh, I've already got that, so I don't have that benefit.
Yeah, but technology improves and advances.
It's just skyrocketing.
So fast.
So fast.
You can't keep up.
That's right, and it works. You know, I mean, we fit people even out of the most recent technology into the newer technologies. We're like, oh my gosh, Stuart, I hear so much better.
Even just a year apart.
That's right. That's
Incredible.
right. So it's really, really been important, you know, to stay into those benefits, because we catch somebody that's like, oh no, I don't have any hearing aid benefits. We check and they're like, oh my gosh, they pay half, you know. So it's really good, you know. So we'll find out all that stuff for them if they just, you know, let us know what their, you know, policies are, their numbers. That we'll call, verify it all, and let them know, you know. So then they know where they're at and they know how to move forward with better hearing. And then, of course, you know, if they don't move forward, we help them with what they have, you know, to maximize the clarity for them.
Now, Stuart, explain to us, are there any differences year to year in the fitting? Does the ear canal change at all?
Yeah, you know, it doesn't. You know, the ear canal pretty much stays the same size after you're 13 years old, unless it gets real droopy or something, which, you know, that is the case sometimes. But the physical fit of the hearing aid is so critical, you know, and that's where the hands-on type of fitting really comes into play, and the patient care that we give people, you know, because we see misfit hearing aids all the time. We correct the fitting, the physical fit of how the hearing aid goes in the ear and seals in the ear, because when it's sealed in that canal, it drives the sound from the ear to the brain, and then they hear so much better. So even with the hearing aids people are wearing, if they're not fit properly, we can refit them, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is so much easier to hear.
I would imagine if they don't fit properly, you're going to get some sort of like background static noise. Like,
yeah, you get the feedback, you know, and then you're always, you know, you're always pushing them in, doing this, you know, and they're not comfortable, you know, whatever it may be. They're loose, you know, so the fit's really critical. Yeah. And then, you know, not just the physical fit, but today the hearing aids are so sophisticated with all the AI, artificial intelligence in the hearing aid. You know, they've got to be programmed properly so that they can see the soundscape of the person and really identify what that patient needs when they need it. And so we can program that into the technology so that it provides the best hearing for them. Yeah. And the programming is really important. You know, we see hearing aids come in where they've just gotten them and put them on, and the programs are so far off, people really aren't doing well. And we reprogram the hearing aid they have, and again, you know, it's like, geez, this is so much better. So all that's so critical. It's
so critical. Now, what would you say to those people who are checking out at Costco or a big box store, and they say they see the big sign hearing aids, and they stop in, and so what's the difference? How versus somebody that can go in and grab a pair off the shelf.
It's a real common question.
What you guys are...
I love Costco, right? I do too. I really do. And I love Costco being in the hearing aid business, to be honest. And they get more people wearing hearing aids than I ever could out of our little store over here. But then people come in with those hearing aids and we show them the difference. They're like, wow. Yeah. This is really important. So this is
just sort of an introductory.
Well, they have
bringing awareness to.
They have some good technologies. Of course, their whole thing is the price point, right? People think, oh, I'm going to save thousands of dollars, and go to Costco and buy hearing aids, and they do, and they wear them, but then they see that they can hear a lot better, or they wear them and they're not hearing as well as they thought they would be, and they come to businesses like ours. And then we fit them with something a lot better, a lot more accurate, a lot more physically fit, like we were talking about. And they're like, oh my gosh. So actually that Costco hearing aid, becomes the most expensive hearing aid you ever bought, because you just have to put it away and get something that's a little bit more sophisticated and better fit.
Gosh. Well, and then I would imagine that, you have to go in on a regular basis to get those hearing aids fine-tuned. Is that correct?
You know what? Hearing aids take a lot of care, and so what our typical process is once we're done with the initial fitting and programming, we know somebody's really hearing well. We see them every 3 months, just to look in their ears, check for any wax blockage, anything else, check the fit, and then ask exactly how they're doing. If there are any critical areas they're not hearing well in, reprogram. And do everything, and just on a quarterly basis. And, all that's included in the purchase of the hearing aid, if they purchase it from us, not a third party. And then annually, we retest their hearing, see if there's any changes, and then adapt the new programs to that. So it takes a lot, which they don't get in those other places for sure.
Right, right. So what are you seeing for advancements in technology in 25? We're just launching the year. Well, something's got to be.
Yeah, well, I tell you,
out
yeah,
there.
it's mind blowing. I mean, compared to where I was, 15 years ago, 40 years ago,
sure.
I would never think we could get this close to perfect hearing, but we're getting there. We're not there yet, but I mean, it's amazing, how well people can hear in noise. The technology is faster, smarter, sharper. I mean, Audibel, has invented these hearing systems that, are looking at your soundscape, as I was mentioning earlier, like 20,000 times a second, then analyzing what's there and then shifting that response to maximize what we call this signal to noise ratio. So it reduces the background noise so then you can hear the speech more clearly. And now, I mean, they're really getting to where they're developing it to where almost anybody can wear them. And, like if you double tap your ear,
right.
just like that, I can say, hey, how many home runs did Babe Ruth hit in his lifetime? And it'll come back and say, Babe Ruth hit 714 hearing aids in his career.
So
it's like a
literally
Siri
like
search,
having
right?
AI
Google, yeah.
in your
So
ear.
I mean, we're getting to a place where, because we don't want people to be stuck with their face in a phone, we want them to be interacting with people, and so this just opens that up. And oh, by the way, if you have hearing loss, we can correct that too. So we're starting to call them wearables. Starkey's just taking it to a whole different level. It's not just for hearing impaired people. People with normal hearing can wear them as well.
They just want the convenience of getting all the knowledge.
Well, you answer your
facts.
phone. You can click the button, answer your phone if it's in your purse, and just say, hey, hello. Then you start to have a conversation. You don't have your phone on you.
Well, I guess it's the same as the earbuds, right?
Well, it's a lot,
Apple.
but it's a lot more accurate, and they're much more comfortable because they're custom fit. Those AirPods.
Right.
You
but
kind
just
of pop in your
for
ear.
listening to music or podcasts.
Yeah,
right?
music,
but you can
podcasts,
still double click
stream
it.
your telephones, the whole thing. And it's pretty powerful.
So real quick, I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Sure.
Do you think they're ever going to develop a hearing aid that is actually implanted into the skull?
Well, there's a lot of risk to that, and it's a whole different kind of category of care. They have cochlear implants today and everything. So I'll get a cochlear implant. Well, there's a lot of risk, to failure there. And if that type of thing happens, then you can't hear, So sometimes
we'll
you see the happy baby, that hears for the first time. It's beautiful for those scenarios and such a good technology for many people that are beyond hearing aids. But today, we get pretty close. We can put a hearing aid down in somebody's ear canal right, near their eardrum where it's not seen on the outside.
Okay.
It's virtually, invisible. And
well, we'll see what the future brings us, right?
Amen. That's right.
All right, Stuart Spencer with Advanced Ear Care. Thank you so much for joining us.
Always great to be here, Bree. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Coming up next, a Music Lovers Club. Stay with us.